Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Joshua De La Victoria. I'm a guitarist based in Southern California. So for those who have been following my channel for a while, or at all, I guess, I have a new setup now. So I was able to get a new desk and I got some new equipment, and I kind of wanted to take this time to show the gear that I'm using and kind of why I'm using each piece of gear. And also I wanted an excuse to shoot a bunch of slow motion B-roll. So cool. Yeah. So let's get into it. So this is the new desk. It's a Gator Frameworks Elite Series studio desk. This one is in the natural maple color. I was kind of on the hunt for a new desk. My older desk was kind of not being held together too well. So I was looking for a new desk, and there were kind of a couple specific things that I was looking for. So one, I wanted better build quality. The desk that I was using before was kind of like, it was fine, but you can tell there were some compromises in the build. And then I also wanted a desk that kind of fit this new space that I'm in and looked aesthetic. I just wanted something that looked good, I guess. So I was looking online and I came across the Gator Frameworks desk. I saw most people, or like most of the promo material for it, had the desk with like these rack units on it. But then I saw a video on YouTube of someone who was just using the desk without the rack units, and I thought it looked really sleek and kind of minimal in a way that I really liked. So I reached out to Gator, and they were kind enough to send me a desk. So thank you, Gator. But anyways, what really drew me to this desk was kind of just the look of it and the modularity of it. So right now I have it with the keyboard tray installed, which you don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, you could do a super minimalist thing where it's just the tabletop and 4 legs. Another thing that I was looking for was a good cable management kind of solution. My old desk, it had cable management, but I found that the cables were really hard to get to. I would have to like move my whole desk forward and then go under it and around, and then I would be able to kind of move the cables. But I wanted something that was much easier to get to, but still looked really tidy. So Gator's solution to cable management was to have a rack that goes under the desk that you can just screw in. It's pretty easy to set up, and then to get all my cables to look really tidy on there is also pretty easy. I just took my cables and then wrapped them with Velcro and then just placed them on the rack. I mean, it's great, really easy access, and it looks very tidy. So now I wanted to talk about some of the equipment that is on my desk. For those who are new to my channel, I've been using the Quad Cortex for quite a while now. It has been the main modeler that I use to get all my guitar tones. But when I got this new setup, I really wanted to kind of simplify my whole recording process. Before, what I was doing was I was running the Quad Cortex into a Focusrite interface. It just seemed kind of like an extra step, especially when the Quad Cortex can be used as an interface. That's kind of what I'm doing now. So both my speaker monitors are connected to the left and right XLR outputs of the Quad Cortex. So all my computer audio, all the DAW audio is being sent out of the Quad Cortex into these studio monitors. What I really like about this setup is that I can use the Quad Cortex still as a modeler. So I have all my amp tones, all my effects, all those sounds when I play the guitar are being sent directly to the monitors. So there's like 0 latency. And then at the same time, I can send a DI and I can send different outputs digitally to my DAW. So it's just like a really easy way to record guitar. Another new piece of gear that I'm using is this Mac Studio. So this is kind of now what's running my whole music and video setup. So it's the M2 Max CPU with 64 gigs of RAM. It's a million times faster than the old MacBook Pro that I was using. I can kind of throw anything audio-wise at this computer and it handles it like nothing. I really haven't run into any kind of computer performance issues since getting this computer. It's really nice when I'm recording to just not have to think about power because like I can just be creative and throw on as many plugins as I want and all these files, and there's no limit hardware-wise. The studio monitors that I'm using are the Yamaha HS8s. They're good speakers. My main issue is the size of them doesn't make sense really for being in a corner in like just a small room like this. So I think the next thing I would want to do is maybe downsize my speaker monitors, but you know, they still sound good and I don't really mix here, so it's not an issue. I only use the setup for tracking. So the speakers work, but I think that's probably something I would change in the future. And then to power this whole setup, I'm just using this Furman PL Plus C. So it's just like a rack unit power supply that has a bunch of power outputs on the back, and then there's one in the front here, which is great for if I want to like charge my iPad, which I use a lot as a second monitor, or plug in whatever piece of gear I need. I actually find that this outlet is extremely useful for using any kind of gear on the desk. So I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about was kind of my approach to recording equipment and having a recording setup. At my old space with my old desk and lots of recording gear, I was kind of finding that I was still always using just the most efficient way to record things. For example, I had a Behringer Model D synthesizer, which is a great synth and it sounds awesome, but I kind of just never used it because I had a plugin that was so much easier to just add to a track instead of having to route MIDI to the Behringer and then tune the Behringer and then send it back. Then I can't save presets and all that stuff. I just found that when I'm writing, and especially when I'm recording, I always take the path of least resistance. It's probably just a personal thing. I know there's plenty of people who have tons of gear and end up using it all, but I know for myself that having more gear doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm making is better. So with this setup, I very intentionally decided, okay, I'm not gonna have rack gear. It's gonna be as simple to record as I can possibly make it. So I'm just plugging directly into the Quad Cortex. I'm taking either a DI and the stereo output signal into the DAW, and then that's kind of it. So from there, everything would be in the box, and I can add effects or change the tone or add a plugin or do whatever I want. And I've been really enjoying it. I think having this like efficient way of recording just really helps me personally. And then also if I have like an idea, I can just immediately open the DAW and record it. I don't have to set up equipment or microphones or anything like that. I'm sure maybe if I like at some point I'm in a bigger space where I can have like a guitar amp and stuff, I'll maybe have a permanent like mics setup, which is I know a thing that a lot of people do. But I find that with this space, my goal was to create the smallest, most compact recording setup and also make it as easy as possible for me to get ideas in the DAW and record. So yeah, I guess that's kind of this whole video. I hope you guys enjoy the little studio tour, or at least this corner. I've been really happy with the setup. Again, huge thanks to Gator for sending the desk out. I'm really impressed with it, and I think it fits this space awesome. And I posted some pictures of it the other day on Instagram, and it seems like a lot of people also really like it. So yeah, I think that's all. If you want to check out my music, I have a band called Victoria, which is Matt Garska on drums and myself on guitar. I also have a band called Portraits, which is Joseph Anager on guitar and me on guitar. You can check all this music out on Spotify. You can check my website, joshuadelavictoria.com. And I just actually released a new video with Matt Garska, which is a live playthrough of Axioma. Be sure to check that out. It is on the Minel Symbols YouTube channel. Yeah, I think that's all. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.